one of the really handy things that you have in the classic editor that's kind of hidden in the block editor is the ability to edit HTML. So the block editor adds its own markup, which is perfectly fine. And actually, it is kind of neat how they do this. But if you do need to edit HTML, you use this little drop down here and you go to edit as HTML, and it actually shows you what the HTML is for the specific block. So you can see the paragraph here. To switch back, you go to edit visually. So on the image as well, you can do the same things, edit as HTML. They use a figure element wrapping around the image in the block editor. It takes a little bit to get used to, but what this does is it allows you to put a fig caption. We have to upgrade the styling a little bit for this to make it contain, but the fig caption is actually very useful, especially for search engines, to basically annotate the image, tell them what the image is about, and try to get you ranking a little bit better in there. Actually, go add the HTTPS in there. So you can edit the block editor in code as well as visually. If you edit something that doesn't carry over to the block editor visually, it will throw an error sometimes. But instead of doing this on each individual paragraph and block, what you can do is post-wide. So the little three dots appear. This accesses settings for the entire post itself, where you can go to code editor, and what it does is it puts all the blocks within these little tags. So the paragraph that you have here is wrapped in a WP paragraph tag. That's, I believe, saved to the database, but not on the front end. So when you go and actually look at the code on the front end, this will not be here, and I'll show you that in a minute. But what this does is basically, here's a block of a paragraph, here's a block for an image, here's a block for a paragraph, another paragraph. It makes content actually very easy to chunk out into these little segments and edit as separate pieces. Generally, we don't recommend the read more anymore, so we're going to get rid of that. But you do have access to editing the HTML side of this. And so, for example, if we do need to add something to this P, we can go style equals. We're going to do a color number red. Let's go ahead and convert that back to the visual editor. Sometimes it saves these, sometimes it doesn't. So we do see that it did save this right here. We're going to go and update that. Head back to the post. And it did save it. So you can put inline HTML and CSS. And if we go ahead and take a look at this, we'll see that it is saved there. So you can edit things in the code editor if you need to do some sort of override. Right now, I think one of the main uses for this will be the nofollow tag. The block editor currently doesn't support a nofollow tag, so if you have a link, and we'll link to Feast Design Co. Go ahead and insert that. There's no way of adding any sort of nofollow tag on here, so what you would do is go into the edit as HTML, find the link, rel equals nofollow, and then go ahead and save that as edit visually and save it. So that's how you add the rel nofollow tag into there. It is a bit of a pain. If you're doing sponsored work, if you're linking out to some sort of affiliate thing, you do need to do that. So for now, it's manual. We expect probably sometime this year we'll get that updated.